But yeah, Republican primary elections. Find conservatives that are running against these people and replace them. And by and large, generally speaking, if it's an incumbent, it needs to be replaced. There are exceptions. Brian King is running for Senate up in Arkansas Senate District. Is it 16? No, wait, that's what. No, I'm sorry. That's the one where Bob Bailey was defeated by the incumbency here. Yeah, Dan, you're right. They choose party over principle. It's not even party anymore. Most members of the Republican Party are actually conservative. It's the leadership. They don't pay attention to the platform. I tried to reform the platform to get rid of dreamer language years ago, and I realized all I was doing was paying money to change language on a piece of paper that wasn't going to be that people weren't going to care about anyway. So, yeah. Don't fund the Republican Party. Don't fund the National Republican Senatorial Committee, because the money's going to be used to stab conservatives in the back. They care more about that than even winning elections. I think it was like $30 million that was used to hijack the Alabama primary election. That's money that could have been used to elect Republicans. I mean, they don't care. And that by the way was for the primary. That wasn't for Roy Moore. That was the other conservative that was trying to run. And the same thing here with the Republican Party. Resources are going to be used to defend our current governor. The governor of Arkansas, by the way, is a rhino. He is not in every single conservative issue that he brags about has a little asterisk on it, and that includes budget. And of course, the standard policy, the standard procedure of when you try to challenge him on what about your actual record, it suddenly turns into a personal attack. It turns into mudslinging. And so you have to accept their little carefully crafted language that's been paid for by the D.C. swamp. And you can't dare look up their finances of who they actually pay for. Or if you do, and you try to bring up that issue, it says, well, it's never to be discussed, really. And they know that most people, little church ladies and people at work, most people, they're not going to take the time to look up who actually finances the campaign, or what the bill they did that actually does, what the budget bill actually does. They know that. They know that they can use the rhetoric and by and large fool people. We need people to actually look up the details of what these people actually did. And again, you don't have to run for office to do that, and actually vote for someone who has a record of trying to reduce the size and scope of government somewhere. When you stop with the stupid excuses, stop with the I'm too busy and I don't want to get involved in politics. Well, it's going to get involved in you. I mean, this bill affects everything you do. If you go to work, you pay taxes, you're involved in politics. If you have kids, you're involved in politics. This education system is trying to teach you to hate for your kids to hate this country. They are indoctrinating them into Islam. They're indoctrinating them into the LGBT agenda. They're indoctrinating them to hate, this nation in general. They're indoctrinating them to hate Christianity. It was designed that way by, I believe, John Dewey, who was the founder of the public education system. He said, a quote to equivalent, that the Sunday schools have them for 1 hour, we have them for 8, somewhere to that effect. And it's just this nation is just being destroyed by by a bunch of people who want government to be reduced but don't want to get out of their comfort zone to do that. And so when they get a candidate, when there's a candidate running for office who's fighting against the two-party system and the big swamp, they may go and vote, or they may not, but they certainly don't want to donate any money or time to it. And that's why this nation's is falling apart. The epithet on this nation is going to be the equivalent of "I'm too busy," or But this is just disgusting here. Shame on Congress for passing this thing in the cowardly manner that they did. Shame on them for not even fighting for once, not saying, a handful of Republican congressmen in a budget committee could have said, you know what, we're not going to pass this until you get rid of this aspect, until you get rid of Planned Parenthood funding, until you get rid of funding for the National Endowment of Arts. We're already a nation that's several $1 trillion in debt, and now it's going to be on top of it even more. And it's just like it sailed through all these committees. And that's when and meanwhile, conservative bills, oh no, we can't. Yeah, you're right, they didn't even read it. There's no way they could have read it. Nobody read it. It was written by cowardly people in the swamp that Donald Trump should have drained years ago. And I'm actually got to look at my watch here, because I got to get back by about 1:40ish. But I got plenty of time here. What I want you to do is to look at legislation regarding the annual budget hearings. You notice they don't ever actually talk about that. They rarely ever mention that. Or if they do, you're going to get some stuff in the mail saying, I reduced the size and scope of government, or I cut taxes, I cut government. And then you look at the asterisks and you look at the actual budget, and you'll see that it's raised, and you know it's a lie. Here in my state of Arkansas, for those that are here, our current governor is bragging about how he reduced taxes. That is an absolute lie. He reduced the size and scope of government. That is an absolute lie. The government budget grew by $172 million. That is an increase in the size and scope of government. Period. That's not a personal attack. That's not attacking his character. That's not mudslinging. That is just the actual fact. That's why I'm urging people to vote for Jan Morgan for governor. I even have some of her material here. And this is just a paper version of it, but you can take it and pass it out. And there's the other video. And, yeah, what we need is people to go knock on doors, make phone calls, make videos like this,